Greetings and salutations. This is edition 2 of the Waldoboro Scoop, a weekly update of the goings-on in beautiful Waldoboro, Maine, where I do the news, you bring on the comment. We really want to hear what you've got to say. I'm taking the time to do this because I feel as a tax-paying resident, we should really be thinking on our own and not listening to the gossip train that you might hear around town. The more information that's out there, the better for you to decide. We, as neighbors, should compromise when needed. We all have different opinions. We're never going to agree on everything, so we should really try to find middle ground. On a side note, thank you to all the beautiful people that watched the first video. The Waldoboro Scoop on Facebook, in its first 5 days, received 100 followers, a bunch of shares, likes, comments, and this is with only one video. I'm glad you liked the program. And now for the disclaimer. This is my own news personally collected from interviews, the web, local media. This broadcasting commentary is in no affiliation with the official town of Waldoboro, Maine, any political groups, any news outlets, including LCTV or other influences. It's just me and my take on things. Now, on to the news. The search for the new town manager is ongoing, with the last day to apply being January 20th, 2017. The application time for the town manager search committee is over. The select board will be discussing who will be on this committee at their next meeting, which is Tuesday, January 10th, 2017. I hope that there's a good mix of residents that they put on this committee, maybe a business owner, a regular Joe, a conservationalist, an extremist, whatever, but just a good mix to represent the people of Waldoboro. And typically they've done this before. It's certainly not the first time that the town has gone through this process. As a matter of fact, we've had 3 town managers and 3 interim town managers in the last 10 years. Doesn't seem like a great track record. The office of the town manager seems to be a revolving door since Lee Smith left, who, incidentally, served 27 years in his 2 terms of employment. Well, maybe I'm just spoiled, but there's something to be said about that kind of long-term commitment. It's so hard with the changing of managers to get anything done, because every time you change the manager, there's a process where the manager has to get used and familiar with the town. They have to get familiar with the people, the employees, get things rolling again. And there's a lag time. So, that kind of stability really, really says a lot. There has been no noticeable progress in the hiring of new recreation director, although I'm sure some interviews have been scheduled and that process is still in a forward motion. The town is also in the process of hiring a finance clerk. The application process is closed. Local sources tell me that this person will be learning the ropes in the finance department and may eventually work their way into bigger and better things. This would be a good thing, as the town has a few people that may be retiring in the next 3 to 5 years. Funding for this position is already in the budget, so for those of you who think increase in taxes, not. I wish the new finance clerk a long and happy tenure, and I hope that they complement the next generation of town office employees. Also, the budget season is in full swing. Department heads are busily preparing their budgets for the 2017-18 fiscal year in order to provide the townspeople with the services they want, like vehicle registration, EMS, police, fire, plus the state mandated positions like assessing and etc., which we have to have per state law. I'll try to keep you in the loop of all the meetings and updates regarding the budget. The interim town manager will be reviewing the budgets. And now for some upcoming meetings. The following meetings are public unless otherwise indicated. The first one being the Communication Technology Committee meeting, which is going to be 6 p.m. Monday, January 9th, 2017. They are reviewing the status of possibly streaming town committee and board meetings live so you can watch them while they happen. Most of these meetings, however, are currently being taped and streamed after the fact at lctv.org. They'll be preparing an RFP, request for proposals, to place a couple of infrastructure projects in front of the select board for consideration in their budget process. They'll be working on the town broadband map project, which is aimed at identifying any remaining unserved pockets of people without broadband, commercial locations, and potential for Wi-Fi hotspots. They'll also be preparing for the next Village Broadband Educational event, which may be held at the old number 9, which is 9 Friendship Street, across from the Sproul Block. This is an outreach event to gather and release information regarding the committee's goings on. They'll also be discussing broadband involvement with the MS-80 40 school district IT staff. They'll be discussing the upcoming Fairpoint acquisition by the Illinois-based Consolidated Communications, and they'll be discussing state legislation involving the PUC, Public Utilities Commission, and broadband. The next meeting is the Select Board meeting. That's Tuesday, January 10th, 2017. They're starting early, 5 p.m. There's going to be a workshop with the department heads regarding their current projects in process. The public is invited to this part of the meeting. However, they also have an executive session scheduled after that, which no public will be allowed. You'll have to step out of the room. They'll be discussing the interim town manager. This person will probably be in the position for 3 months or so until we get a new town manager hired and they take over. Will they make a decision? Only time will tell. Keep listening and I'll keep you informed. At 6 p.m. their regular meeting is going to start. They'll be discussing 3 dangerous buildings and where the town really wants to go with them. They are located at 762 Back Cove Road and 992 Winslow's Mill Road, which has 2 buildings on that one property. The town is looking at possibly removing the buildings as they are hazardous, just to have standing. The conference room policies will also be reviewed, the newest of which was adopted in 1983. The Select Board Chair has been contacted to see if he would attend a Waldoboro Utility District Board of Trustees meeting on January 19th, 2017. That'll be held at the Utility District, and it's due to concerns about a private sewer line on the beginning of Friendship Road. The Town Manager Search Committee is expected to be established. There will be some sort of update on the Sylvania property per board member Bob Butler, and the fiscal year 2018 budget calendar will be released. This is just basically the dates, projected dates when they wish to have everything done by. Immediately following the meeting will be a Board of Assessors meeting. Okay, next is the Planning Board meeting scheduled for Wednesday, January 11th, 2017. This will also be at the town office at 6 o'clock. There is a site plan review for Noah Rosin for a project on 21 Winslow's Mills Road. This building is directly across Winslow's Mills Road from Dunkin' Donuts and is currently vacant. Planning Board Chair Seth Hall states that there may be a discussion regarding a recent Reed Mansion project, if there's enough interest to do so by the board. As an educational process, as there were some issues from the applicant and the board regarding that whole process. There'll also be a discussion on changes to Article 2 of the Land Use Ordinance to reflect the separate duties of the Planning and Development Director and the Code Enforcement Officer. And there'll also be a discussion of land use issues and challenges, things of that nature. This will be done in preparation for comprehensive plan updates. The last meeting I see scheduled for next week is a Transfer Station Committee meeting. That'll be Thursday, January 12th, 2017 at 6 p.m. There's going to be a discussion of the Municipal Services Agreement, or MSA, between Waldoboro, Friendship, and Cushing. This agreement basically describes the responsibilities and the relationship of the 3 towns that utilize our transfer station here on the North Nobleboro Road. There's also going to be a discussion regarding the draft fiscal year 2017 transfer station budget with the Director of Public Works, John Daigle. And now for the 7-day weather scoop. Today, it's cold. High temperature around 16 to 18 degrees. Low temperature in the overnight is going to be 0. Tomorrow, 15 degrees as the high, 14 is the low, so it's going to be sticking right there in the teens. Tuesday, we're looking for a little bit of a break on the cold. A high temperature of 37 degrees with a low temperature of 36 degrees. Wednesday, 44 degrees for a high. Thursday, 45 degrees for a high. Friday, 46 degrees for a high. It looks like a good stretch of decent weather. Probably not typical January weather, but hey, take what we get, right? We don't have much choice in it. I'm also predicting some rainfall, probably less than an inch, between Tuesday evening at sunset and daybreak on Wednesday. Temperatures should be staying high enough That should all be rain and should not be freezing. So that's your weather. And now for some boring news, but stuff you still need to know. The annual parking ban is in effect until April 1st of this year by town ordinance, and it's on the website. No vehicles can be parked on a public way at any time that will interfere with snow removal. That means if the road crew is out trying to remove the snow at any hour during the day or night, you may be towed at your expense. Keep an eye out for what's going on. If you see the trucks out, move your vehicles off the road. This is going to pertain mostly to the downtown areas like Main Street, Friendship Street, Jefferson Street, parks, town-owned buildings, things like that. Also, no vehicles can be parked on any street between midnight and 7 a.m. This is just because it's too difficult to try to get people out to move their vehicles if it happens to snow at that time or rain and they need to sand. And last but not least, once again, it's that time of year that the dogs do need to be licensed. Fixed dogs are only $6, unfixed dogs are only $11. If the dogs are not licensed by the end of January, a state license fee of $25 per dog will be assessed. The animal control officer may or may not be checking for unlicensed dogs. I hope you have a great week. Take care.